What's up, Dragon Brood? Today we're welcoming you back to another, I guess, installment, we'll call it, of Champ or Chump, where we try to take a deck from the weekly deck dump over on magic.gg for the decks that go 6-0 between Platinum Plus, and just see if we can get them to really play that well and if they're actually a champ or a chump. So today, we actually have one that actually probably isn't too bad. It's one I haven't played in a long time, but it's Mono Black Devotion. One of those decks that actually has a chance to be good almost always, but you don't ever see a whole lot of it. So I figured, hey, why not come back and play this deck? It's actually cool that it showed up and pretty convenient timing because I was considering it anyway. So this works out well. It's just a matter of, does this version hold up? And before we find out, please remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that little notification bell, and that'll make sure you get notified every time I have a video up. But now, in the meantime, let's go take a look at this Mono Black Devotion deck for today's Champ or Chump. This should be a fun one when we're looking at just how this one's put together here. But we've got 4 Archfiend's Vessel, so this is just small lifelinker. Obviously, there's going to be a couple of ways to get this out of the graveyard, so you can try to turn it into a 5/5. Bloodchief's Thirst, just a solid removal. Surprised there's not more in here, but there are 2. Village Rites is a way to just get some extra cards. Heartless Act, another one of our removal cards. Null Priest of Oblivion. Well, technically, this is a way we can use it to get that Archfiend's Vessel out of the graveyard, so you could turn that into a 5/5. That's not too bad. 2 Timuret Calls the Dead. This is a good one because, one, it has 2 black mana symbols there, so it's giving you 2 points toward devotion if you need that for anything. But additionally, being able to remove creatures from graveyards is actually pretty good when you consider how many different types of rogue decks you run into, or decks playing like Into the Story, or any of the escape cards. You know, this actually works against quite a few things. Ayara, again, you have 3 black mana, so that also helps your devotion stuff. Very cool that she's going to work with all the other cards in this deck very well, and it's a way to draw cards, so big fan. 3 Call a Death Dweller. This is just a way to get all those kinds of stuff back out of your graveyard. Also, again, another way to get back that Archfiend's Vessel, so that's very cool. You've got Murderous Riders for 4. Veto, which Veto here isn't trying to do a big thing. It could very well be just incremental damage. We're talking about life gain from the Vessel. You've got Null Priest gaining life. You got Timuret gaining life. Ayara, Murderous Rider. So like just these cards themselves could be doing 2 or 3, 4 damage every turn if Veto's on the table. Nightmare Shepherd's a way to kind of protect you from sweepers and stuff. Have Rankle, just a good all-around card for this style of deck. And then 3 Gray Merchants because you can just drain your opponent for a lot of life with all these black mana symbols. There is 1 Massacre Worm in here. Not sure how important it is, but it's cool to just have as an option. So again, I'm going to play this list just as it is, so I'm not going to switch that up. It has 2 Witch's Cottage and 21 Swamps. Like, this is actually a little unnerving because it should just be playing Castle Locthwain. There's almost 0 reason for it not to. But yeah, I'm going to play it as is, and we're going to just see if this holds up. Alright, we'll keep this. This is a reasonable start for this type of deck here. Let's go with an Archfiend. What's interesting here is we may not even get rid of our Archfiend. Well, we probably will, depending on if we draw a land or not. If we hit our land drop, then we won't worry about playing the Bloodchief's Thirst. If we don't hit the land drop, then we'll consider it. Alright, so they're just playing a straight up mill strategy. Question is, can we get there in time? I don't know that we can. Alright, they didn't want to block. I was just seeing, kind of testing the opponent there. We're going to get rid of that. So that slows down their mill options. What we'll probably do is go with Null Priest, see if it gets countered first. Actually, no. If they're going to be down to 1 mana here, we're going to go ahead and just play Veto. So even if they have blockers, they're going to get damaged anyway. So this is a way we can race the mill decks. They just out-life gain them. Worst case scenario, they have stuff like Brazen Bar or some bounce spell, Into the Whirl or something, and then they'll be bouncing our veto just to keep us from doing anything. But this is like it's going to work out pretty well. And if we get an additional land, we can give veto lifelink 2. That would have been nice. Either of those, actually. The Ayara could have been sweet, too. Alright, that's not too shabby. Let's go ahead and play this. Doesn't really hurt anything to just run it out. We're going to attack for 3. The opponent's going to take at least 4. So we have them on a 4-turn or less clock at this point. Alright. And we'll end the turn. Just kind of deciding what to do with this village rights. Because we would really like to get this Gray Merchant off. But we just may not have an opportunity. There's an Omen of the Sea. Opponent will draw a card. So we're going to get milled for 2 more. Alright, there's another crab. We have to sacrifice... Oh, well. Alright. Still have 30 cards, so I think we're mostly okay. Well, I say that. We'll be down to 26. Alright, those are mostly cards we didn't want. I'm going to risk it and get rid of one of these. Ooh, that's big. Oh, that's big too. That's big too. What can we get? We can get Nayara, we can get Gray Merchant. Oh, so many options. So many options. If we play this, we attack. Yeah, let's do it. Alright, so opponent's at 6. We don't want to have them draw a card and then have mill us. That's a bad idea. I think we just have each player discard a card. Yeah, because we're not going to need this Call of Death Dweller anyway. If the opponent's leaving mana up to keep us from resolving a Gray Merchant, we don't really care, because they've got to deal with the veto here, plus Rankle and Null Priest. Like, all 3 of those cards are problematic right now for them. So we should be good to go here. Alright, Bubble Snare keeps that from untapping. So Tiny shrinks it so that doesn't get to deal damage. Yep, that works just the same. Yep, don't even have to attack to get it done. Yep, GG's. Okay, our opponent goes first. This hand's a pretty easy mulligan. This is one we'll keep. We just don't... this is actually okay, to be honest. Obviously, we need more land, but it's not bad. Okay, if we can stick the land we need, there are some options here against mono red, especially if we can turn this into a 5/5. At least fairly effectively. Alright, Robber of the Rich. I think we go ahead and just block. Okay, so we'll probably end up playing Veto. I think is what we want to do. Oh, that Intimidator is going to make life very difficult. Yeah. I have a feeling we're just taking a lot of damage here, though. 3, 4, 5, maybe? It's up to them, though, right? They could make, like, the Veto not block. But there's really no point if you have a way to do damage in your hand. Because if I block, then shoot Veto for 2. The first strike of the champion kills it. Alright, so don't hate this. This basically tells us the opponent doesn't have extra damage in hand. Either that or they just don't know. So that's pretty good. And we're still at 14. So we're not in any kind of panic mode or whatnot here. Alright, so we'll play this. This gives us some other opportunity to block if we want to. And still get a creature back. Alright, attacking with Intimidator. How do we feel about blocking? I think we block with Veto. I mean, it causes the opponent to spend some mana. So if they were going to do something like a Nax or whatever here, it at least slows that down. And we get a blocker for next turn. Yeah, give it Trample. Rightfully so. Yeah, we'll take the action. Okay. Now we can start talking about some things. Would have liked for that to be a land, but you know, this isn't too awful. And I like this because it sets up some options, right? Like depending on how we choose to block, the opponent may want to get creative. And then we can just kill a Kargan Intimidator. Do we just block with the 1/1? See if they do what they did last time. Pump and trample, and then we kill the Intimidator? I could go for that. Okay. So we only take 2, whereas we were going to take 3. But now we maintain a blocker for future turns. And I can stick this onto the table. And things start to look a lot better. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with just this flyer. Because that makes a lot of sense. We're not really even incentivized to block with the Murderous Rider. I've been seeing a few people trying to play this Relic Robber lately, and I'm starting to think maybe I'm in the minority as far as how people view that card. But I'm not a fan. Not a fan. I mean, can we attack with both of these? That seems bad. I'm just going to play this straight up. Because now, Veto plus the Lifelink and the Nightmare Shepherd could just be game. Depending on what the opponent has here, obviously. Alright, there's an axe, so that changes things a little bit. This gives us the opportunity to get back Vessel to make a 5/5. Still never drew that extra land. It's a bit annoying. No, because we still have this one here. Alright, I'm just going to attack with this. do I want to get a 5/5 out here? Because that would just be lethal with those in the air. The 5/5 could... You know what? I am going to do that and get the 5/5 out. Mostly because if there's an Embercleave or whatever, this just makes it harder for us to die to it. Goldhound's not going to be nearly enough. Well, that's not true. They could still have Embercleave here. Embercleave could still be important, because Embercleave would turn a Nax into an 8, a 9, so it'd be 18 minus 5. So as long as we made a Nax minus... Oh no, we would die, huh? So the best we could do would be something like... This. I think we're still dead though, right? Because if it's an Embercleave, this becomes a 9. That's 18 minus 8 is 10. We still take 2 from the champ, because the champ first strikes. So we'd have to do this in a way that we don't... Alright, so we have to do it like this to not die, right? Well, no, we do this and prevent the 3. Okay. Let's see. Mostly because we get at least a gain life trigger from the lifelink on the Murderous Riders. That's what's important here. And we get to drain the opponent. So if they had an Embercleave... Exactly, there you go. So the big pile will kill off my things. We should get some life gain triggers here on this damage. We will take that action. Alright, and we're at 1. Drain the opponent, and that should do it. Woo! That was close. Alright, we get to go first, and I guess we'll keep... It's not an exciting hand, it just does, I mean, it's a fine hand, it just doesn't do a lot here. And the downside is because Bloodchief's Thirst is a sorcery. If we choose to play Timuret, we don't likely get to kill something across the way. We're not interested in killing that anyway. So we'll just continue on. Please, don't be playing Gruul. I was going to say, we didn't want our Timuret to get stomped. Alright, since we have the lands... I'm not going to worry about if they have a Questing Beast or whatever here, because then we could just Bloodchief's Thirst next turn. And all they would have to block is this human. Oh, Wicked Wolf. That's unfortunate. Well, I guess we can kill a Wicked Wolf if we need to. That's not nothing. So that does stand to be a bit annoying. Then next turn we have the option of getting some cards off of our village rights one way or the other. Oh, they had another. Dang. Alright. Well, not a lot we can do about that. They didn't draw nearly any of the things we wanted them to. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. If the opponent decides, maybe they'll waste a card trying to get past an Archfiend's Vessel or something, and we can just kill it. Get cards for it. Sometimes opponents get greedy. No, this one appears not to have.
You don't respect nature? We're gonna have a Every day
Gave
is
it
a
vigilance.
mutation.
Alright. Okay, we might be about to get crushed here. I guess I should have went ahead and got the cards for it. It's a bit of a mistake.
Nothing poultice can't heal.
I assume they'll make one that has reach this time. Hopefully we draw a removal card. Because we will need to get this Vivian away from our life. But we're likely just in bad shape anyway. Yeah, the opponent really didn't have to do anything exceptional here. They just drew decent. I mean, not a lot to be said about it. Opponent's definitely being conservative here. We can Heartless Act. Oh, we can't because it has a token on it. Okay, I guess we could remove the token, but then we just die, really. Right? Because then you're talking about 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Even if we made a 5-5, we could block those. We'd still be taking 12. You know, if it's what we gotta do, this is awfully unfortunate. But you gotta make the plays you can make, you know?
I hate this.
Alright, so we're gonna have to bring back max blockers. We're just gonna put all of our counters on the Timorite. Because we're gonna lose the Archfiend's Vessel. The other thing to consider too is we could end up with low enough life that we may not even be able to use this Murderous Rider effectively. Though, opponent is at 15. That's not nothing. We do have 6 lands, so we could kill something and play Murderous Rider next turn, even if nothing else great happens. Yeah, you might as well attack with your 3/3. Yeah, I was gonna say, come on, opponent. They really don't want to put their Wicked Wolf at risk. This is amusing. Okay, I guess we'll take 8. And we've got nothing else in it. Well, we have an Ayara. Which, if we had a way to get it back, like say we drew Null Priest, that could be pretty good. Get Ayara back, have the Null Priest so we gain some life if we block. Ayara would cause 2 life gain triggers. So, I mean, that's something. That is neither of those things. Okay, so this becomes a real question here. Do we save to try and block, kill? Man, the problem is using these mammoths, we're going to lose so much life. Or using these Murderous Riders, trying to kill a mammoth. Yeah, I think we just have to pass. It's not great, but it's one of the few ways we're not dead. We can also drain from gain life by getting rid of a couple of creatures in the graveyard here. Ew. Alright, so what's the opponent likely to do here? Kill Rankle? And then that makes it hard for us to block? Yeah, I think we're dead. Because that's what I would do. Yeah. Because these are going to cost us life. And there's nothing else we can do here. We don't have a good block. Yeah, that's just GG's. Alright, we get to go first here. Don't know if y'all can hear that. Maybe not. It seems like it's coming through on my side. But hopefully that's not too noisy. We'll see. I may have to try to do some fancy editing. Y'all may not even notice. We're going to keep this, but we're probably just running out of Null Priest. Just letting her do her thing. We do have double Heartless Act when we're playing against Lurrus, so we don't hate that. That's just fine. Though we don't want to get too frivolous in our usage of them. As we will eventually want to, or at least try to, kill a Lurrus. Also remember that the Null Priest has Menace, so it is hard for your opponent to block regardless. Or they can just kill it. And Blood Chiefster is still a good magic card. Alright, Timurit sticks. Let's see if they have another kill card for Timurit. Because Timurit can keep stuff out of the yard, so Lurrus isn't all that effective. Alright, Lurrus goes into hand. Well, they can return a crab. Do we each want to discard? I'm going to do none of them, actually. I don't know what the opponent has in hand yet, and they're obviously on 1 black mana, so we don't want to give them any more. Well, they found it anyway, so I guess we could have given them a card, not been punished. But let's see what they do here. We have access to Heartless Act and Murderous Rider. We can take out both of these creatures. And then get Timurit back if we wanted to. Let's get rid of the Lurrus. Let's get rid of the crab. And we're going to come over. Not doing any of the things. Alright, end of the story. Probably now we have a kill card for Rankle. What do we want back? It's got to be Timurit, right? That just feels like it has more value in this game. This is probably getting countered anyway. Murderous Rider? Alright. Anti-cognition, sure. Now we'll have people discard cards. Do we want them to discard and draw? They're at 9. Don't love it, but I feel like I need to just to keep up. Well, that's not a bad one. Because it's possible we can get a creature right behind it, keep pressure up. That'd be nice. Oh, so they had their own Call of Death Dweller. It was a turn too slow on that Timurit. That's unfortunate. Had potential. Well, the question is this Rankle still going to do it? I mean, you can stop an Ayara. Or you can stop a Rankle. Pretty sure that's what's going on here. Alright, so they've chosen to stop Ayara. Reasonable situation. We'll make each player discard. Do we want to lose and draw? I guess we have to, because it puts the opponent at 4 and it makes Rankle lethal. And there's a chance we find a removal card for Lurrus here, and then we can get rid of it with Timurit. Or we can do none of those things. That's fine too, deck. I appreciate us having that talk. Alright. May start draining our own graveyard here. They don't have anything we're really worried about stopping, so we'll at least start by getting rid of our creatures that we're likely not going to get back. Alright, they Heartless Act. Makes sense. Okay, great. They milled 3 lands we didn't want. Alright, opponent's choosing to do nothing. Let's get rid of just a couple of cards here. We don't have to worry about Zerasan because they were playing Lurrus as a companion. Ooh. Does that do anything here? I mean, they don't have anything in their yard, though. I mean, I don't know. We'll pass. Whoa, no! I clicked Lurrus! Oh, what the hell? I swear I clicked Lurrus. Ah, that sucks. Yeah, that's terrible. That's terrible. I mean, I'll play it out for a couple more turns, but they're just going to get that back. That's... yeah. I don't think we're recovering from this. I mean, I think we're already in trouble, even before the misclick, but... or whatever happened there. But... it's just worse off now. I mean, plus the opponent attacking with Lurrus tells us they just have a way to get it out of the yard. Probably like Agadeem's Awakening or something. Alright, we'll just get rid of more things. Alright. If you just kill our Timuret, we're dead too. I'll cling to dust. Okay. I mean, Ayara's a thing. Probably doesn't. If Ayara doesn't resolve here, I don't think we can win. Yeah, we're just dead. In my personal assessment, this version that was on the Magic.GG deck dumps, as far as Champ or Chump, comes in at Chump this week. Even though, again, we're playing a small sample size, anybody can get lucky and also go like 6-0, but truthfully, it didn't feel good against anything. And even while I was playing, I think I called out like, hey, this deck needs this cards, or like if you're playing this thing, you should be playing this thing. So there was a lot of little things in there I think it was missing. That said, I do think I can make a version that's actually reasonably playable, so I'll have that available for download down below if you want to go ahead and grab that. Also, don't forget, we also keep down in the description links to our Discord if you want to come chat about stuff, my Twitch link, Twitter, if you want to check out my sponsors, if you want to check out my podcast, all of that's there. Or if you just want to buy some merchandise and support me and the channel, you can do that there too. Remember to check all that stuff, because it's important. And if you haven't, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.